Thank you guys for joining me. I will do my best to make it nice and quick. I asked parents to be here tonight because I do take anything that has to do with tutoring very seriously, and we're allowing our younger than 18-year-olds to work with other kids. And so I think it's very important for you parents to know what they're doing and to just keep a little bit tabs just to make sure that things are going well. We will have an instructor that will be signed up with each one of your daughters or sons to make sure they're mentoring them along the way, what they should be doing with the kids, what they can be doing better, and so on. But I just wanted the parents to all be aware of what this program is exactly. So let me share with you guys, for some of you guys who haven't met me, my name is Manuel. I'm the owner of TutorZone. We are offering this program during the summertime. I thought it was a perfect time to do it with all the online learning that kids are doing. There's a lot of academic gaps, and so we envision our summer being fairly busy. And so we wanted to offer a lot of our students who are with us is an extra half an hour of free tutoring as a supplement to practice their Spanish more, to practice their reading, to practice their fractions. Whatever it is that we're already working with them on, we wanted to offer them another resource to do some extra practice. And then at the same time, I'm doing a lot of college coaching with my students, and a lot of them are struggling to find extracurricular activities during the summertime. I know a lot of our younger students are having trouble finding extracurricular activities. So I thought this was a perfect pairing of kids who need more help with learning and students who are trying to be impactful and innovative during their summertime. So we're gonna match each one of you guys up with a student of ours, maybe two, depending on how many kids might wanna sign up for this program. And we're gonna have you guys do an extra half an hour session with our kids after they are done with their one-on-one tutoring or with their online class. And so again, that may require you doing some Spanish practice. Even if you've never done Spanish before, our instructor would actually send you the vocab words or send you the lesson for the day. It might just require reading with them, reading a story to them out loud and having them practice their comprehension. I think you guys will find it practically really impactful for your own life. As I've learned, when you get to teach, you actually learn the most because you're the one doing a lot of the instructing, a lot of the creative thinking. And so I think in the same time, it's going to help you guys with your own education. So let me share with you guys just a few slides really quickly and get you guys out of here. So what I really wanted you guys to think about is how to become a transformational leader in this time, not just a leader. And so what I like to encourage my instructors to think about themselves as is academic mentors, not just tutors. We actually banned the word tutor at TutorZone. Believe it or not, we call all of our instructors instructors because I think there's a different feel. When you think of a tutor, you just think of someone sitting there with you and just doing some homework. And we don't like doing that. We like to teach on the whiteboard. We like to instruct. And so I want you guys to think of yourselves as academic mentors, meaning I really want to encourage you guys to share your academic experience with your students. You know, I really like to take notes. I like to use a highlighter. I really like to read a page and then pause for a second and think about what I just read. So at the same time as you're doing that, it's going to force you guys to really think about what's helped you do well in school and then how to pass that on to your kids. So I know some of us who haven't done tutoring before might think like, well, it's just helping with, fractions or so on. It actually very much is helping with life, and it's helping them just develop better academic skills. And it's very meaningful. I hope that after this program, one day, 2 years from today, you guys run into one of your kids eating ice cream somewhere when we're allowed to do that again. And they say like, hey, you were my summer tutor. Like I'm reading 3 levels ahead now, thanks to you. And I think each of you will realize how meaningful and impactful that is to your own personal life. I feel like I wanted to do business finance when I graduated from college, and I ended up doing education because of the fulfillment that you get out of it. And so I hope you guys get to have a little bit of that too, but it will require you guys to put a little extra energy into it. So the only few things that I wanted you guys to take today is I want you guys to be committed to this. With all that I ask is that if you're going to be on vacation the day when you actually are scheduled to have a student, or you're not going to be available next week, that you always email me a week in advance. That's just because you will have a set time when you'll have a student every Monday at 3, and you guys will link up, and they're expecting to be there. And so since you now are kind of representing TutorZone at the same time, I think that we just want to have a little professionalism as we do this. So each of you will get a chance to email me like, hey, Manuel, I want to do the mentoring program just on Tuesdays. And that's great. We'll link you up with a student who does tutoring on Tuesdays. It doesn't require you to be available all day, every day. Whatever availability you guys want to do, we'll do our best to match you guys up with someone. If you want to take on more than one student, let me know. But if you're just kind of wanting to mentor someone, to kind of have something to talk about in your applications one day, or to see how it goes and to see if you like it, just tell me. I would like to be linked up with one student, and that's all we'll do. So I wanted you guys to take commitment as the first one. The second one is enthusiasm. We honestly have built a company of just energy. Our colors are bright orange and light blue for a very strategic idea that when kids come into TutorZone, we wanted to have bright colors because it kind of gets them into a different mindset. When we took over our first Sylvan location, the first thing we did is we painted all over their dull brown, because I felt like it just sent the wrong message to kids. And so with you guys, the same. You have to be absolutely energized. You have to pretend you just drank a 5-hour energy drink, even though you're not allowed to drink one of those, and make the kids think that you're just a little crazy. Like, why is this person always so energized? It's part of the idea of trying to get them enthusiastically motivated about what they're doing. There is nothing harder than when someone is very dull about their teaching to try to get the kid to actually have a good time. And so if you want your half an hour to go by fast and enjoyable, you have to set the energy right off the stands. If you're having a bad day and you let it come in, your half an hour session is going to be horrible. It's going to feel like 3 hours. And so at the end of it, it's better for you to bring good energy, because then it'll allow you to have a really good dialogue. And then 2, you should not be lecturing to your kids, meaning you should not be telling them what to do the whole time. You should be conversing with them. When you teach, it should be a dialogue. It's called Socratic style of learning, which I think you guys will learn a lot of it in college. But the more you converse with them, the more they're learning. They say that the person who learns the most is the ones that's talking the most. And it's true. There's classes I've taught where I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about those things. And so you have to have the person talking back and forth. So it's really important for you guys to have a good dialogue with your students as you're going through the session. Mom or dad, I would encourage you guys to be somewhere near during that half an hour. And I know if you're not around, that's okay, but just check in so you can encourage them to, listen a little bit more or ask questions if you can, just so that the kids are actually enjoying what they're doing at the same time. And so commitment, enthusiasm, and then the last thing that I wanted you guys to just kind of think about is start thinking about some of the strategies you guys use for school that works for you, whether it's annotating as you read, whether it's note cards, and start having like a list of 5 things that I want to share with my kids as I get together with them. You guys will only be working with 7th graders and below. So obviously you don't want to be doing like a 5-page annotation, right? That's not really going to work for them. But note cards would be good. Creative books would be good. A lot of colors, a lot of highlighting and so on. I don't know. I kind of want it to be something that you guys enjoy doing. I don't want to tell you guys how to do it because I think you'll learn more as you go. But start thinking about it so that once you're put in front of a kid, you have things that you want to share with them. If a student comes to you with nothing and they just say like, I don't have anything to do, I would recommend that you already have a few books or passages from an online article that you want to read with them prepared. Because a lot of kids are going to come to you guys and say, I have nothing. We're going to send you guys lessons in advance, but I would always recommend that in case you really run through the lesson quite fast, that you have something prepared so that way you can make it very productive. My goal is that in half an hour, you get a lot done in terms of reading, math, or even if it's practicing another language. YouTube videos are okay if you have watched them before and you absolutely know that there's no profanity in there, that they're not talking about religion or politics. So I would probably play it really safe. But if you think there's a really good instructional video that teaches them something probably better than you're able to say, watching it with them is okay. I'd highly recommend then after whatever you watched that you talk about it together. They say that English language learners need to hear a word 10 different times in 10 different contexts before they understand it. I believe that to be true. I am an English language learner and I don't really understand words sometimes until I hear them a few times, which means it's the same practice with kids who are not English language learners, but maybe just 5 times. So try to give them different contexts when you talk about something. If you're talking about the planets, show them a picture, talk about it, show them a video, use different context so that if you're not doing an amazing job of explaining something, that someone else maybe does in a YouTube video, or a picture and image does too. With that said, it should be a fun half an hour. I'm not putting super stringent, like, hey, you guys got to get done these many problems, or you have to read these many pages, but try to have some way of having fun. You know, if it's like a Jeopardy game that you want to play with them, where you hold up, you know, a 500, 400, 300 score, and they get to pick, and the 500 question is really difficult versus the 100 question is really easy. And every time they get it wrong, you get the points. Every time they get it right, they get the points. Be creative. In teaching right now in a negotiations class to college students, I learned how creativity is pretty much at the essence of everything that you do well. Negotiations is the most boring class I've ever taught, but it's the most enjoyable when I become very creative. And the best skill that the students can take is that if they're creative negotiators, they'll do well in life. I think this for you guys should be a challenge of like, how can I learn to be creative with my lessons? Because if you can do it with teaching, you could probably do it with any other skill that you develop one day. So I wanted to just have a quick 10-minute conversation and open it up if you have any questions about it as parents. And as parents, if you don't, then I'll give the students a shot and then we're all good. After today, you're gonna get an email from me asking you for your availability. And so parents, please spend with them a second to talk about that so that they don't say I'm available all the time and then it turns out you signed them up for a class or you guys are going on vacation a certain day. Respond to me with, I am available Mondays between 11 and 3, Tuesdays between 1 and 7, like be specific. We are opening up tutoring between 9 in the morning and 9 p.m. during the summertime. Since we're doing it virtually, we don't have to have like set schedules. So tell me whatever hours you want to do, and then I will start to set you up with kids, and I will always have you also set up with a mentor. So meaning one of my instructors will actually be the one to send you and your student a link. You guys will click on it the first day, and my instructor will be there to kind of walk you guys through this first like few minutes, and then they'll back off and they'll kind of let you go, and they'll be checking in with you guys quite often. So any questions? I wanted to make it as simple as possible, but also show you guys how important this is for me, because I'm letting you guys represent something I've been working for 14 years to make prestige somehow. All right, anything at all? No, awesome. That means that I was really good with my clarity. Yes, question over there.
Manuel.
Yes, sir.
In terms of the subject matter, that's something that you're going to be picking?
Yeah, if you guys completely feel like you're not comfortable with something specific, maybe you can include it in the email. Like if math is just absolutely not your thing, I would encourage you to do the things that you don't think you're that great at because they'll make you better. But yes, we'll provide it. So we'll say Monday at 3 o'clock, you're going to be working with Jimmy, who's a 3rd grader, on his multiplication tables.
Gotcha.
So that's going to kind of give you a heads up. Like I probably want to have some note cards, or I want to think of a game. If you guys can maybe get them a whiteboard, that'd be great. Because if you can have a whiteboard, you can write on things. But we'll also share with you guys something called BitPaper. BitPaper is actually the online whiteboard that we're using for tutoring, and you guys can actually be writing on there while your kids are writing on it at the same time. But if you feel like you're not good with like technology tools, then just get yourself a little whiteboard so you can write on there. But yes, we'll give you guys clarity on what the subject is.
Gotcha. Thank you.
This will run all summer long. Who knows how long summer is going to be this time around, but my guess is to about August 15th. So kind of plan on it once a week, maybe twice a week for the next 8 weeks. I think that's nice because it'll really allow you to develop a relationship with your students. Relationship building is everything in education. If you think about the best teachers in your life, you probably had a good relationship with them. If you can't even remember their name, they probably never really got to know you. So try to get to know your students. Try to build some rapport with them. Okay. Anything else? Miss Alina, any questions? You all good? Okay. Miss Lauren, good to meet you. Any questions? You're all good. Rihanna, you all good? Cool. Anya? Okay. And Miss Shrika, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for your time. I will send you guys an email, respond with your availability, and hopefully we'll have a good time doing this summer. I'm sure that I'll be chatting with you guys a lot.